The Saudis sure know how to pick them. They've got the most fittest, athletic, jacked golfers, arguably in all of golf. Everybody in golf works out, especially if you play it for a living. Some look like it, some don't. Some lift weights, some tend to just stretch. In my opinion, who are the fittest golfers out on the LIV Golf Tour, the LIV Golf Tour, the 54 Golf Tour, the Saudi Golf Tour? In my last video where I ranked the fittest golfers on the PGA Tour, I went into heavy detail about Frank Stranahan and Gary Player and how without those two golfers, a lot of the golfers today, who knows if they would be in the gym. In no particular order, starting off at 6 foot, 180 pounds, he currently doesn't play on the LIV Golf Tour. He is the CEO, the Shark, Greg Norman. It's not too often you find somebody that gets better with their age. Greg Norman, I did some digging back when he was being #1 in the world for 331 weeks, dominating there for a little bit. The guy wasn't outwardly that fit. I'm sure he was doing something, maybe stretching. This was in the 90s, kind of pre-Tiger. But now, the guy's yoked. Greg Norman says he's working out 5 days a week, about an hour and a half to 2 hours every session. He tends to do it more later in the day, after he gets some of his, entrepreneurial ventures out of the way. He says he starts off every session with 45 minutes on the elliptical, quote, to get my heart rate up between 185 and 190. Greg, I would love to see some proof of that because anybody that's been in the gym knows it's not possible to get your heart rate up to 190 on the elliptical. Guy clearly lifts weights and looks pretty jacked in a golf shirt. My favorite part about Greg Norman is how he goes absolutely out of his way on social media to let everybody know that he's in the gym. If you dig on the Shark's Instagram, you're gonna find videos just like this. Look at him. He's injured. He's doing leg abdominal crunches on crutches. It's honestly a pretty smart idea. Decline push-ups, just, out in the middle of nowhere. As far as nutrition goes, this is quite interesting. He's on a, quote, anti-white diet, so no rice, no bread. I guess he's just prejudiced towards white foods. Greg's fitness even goes past the weight room, saying he goes on 8 to 10 hour hikes at times in Colorado. I'm not doubting the guy in any means. The guy looks great, clearly, but some of his comments and claims about his fitness really makes me question. They're quite bold. Makes sense coming from the founder of the LIV Golf Tour. If Greg Norman would have stuck to this regimented routine that he is now when he was playing, would he have been better? Would he have won that Masters in 1996? Guess we'll never know. Coming in at 6'3", 200 pounds, calves like Adonis himself, Phil the Thrill Mickelson. Just like Phil's golf play, his fitness and his diet is bold, it's brash, it's unique, it's outside of the box thinking. Back in his prime when most of his winning was going on, the guy wasn't in the gym. Phil used to be kind of a big boy. It's not until recent that Phil really transformed himself and lost a bunch of weight. Cutting back on the calories, going on the Mediterranean diet where it consisted of mainly fish, nuts, vegetables, and obviously some hard work in the gym, a lot of calf raises. Just like Phil's diet, his coffee order is just as kind of odd, but there's a purpose behind it. I'm not going to be able to pronounce even close to all of these ingredients. It includes some Ethiopian Yiger Achi coffee, almond milk, cinnamon, coconut, MCT oil, a whole bunch of other extracts, oils, whatever, all of these things that are supposedly pretty dang good for you. Maybe I'll have to give it a shot because I love coffee. The calves are really what separates the men from the boys, and Phil has some pretty lean, nice, sharp looking, solid calves. You'd think Phil's swing speed would be even less than it is now, but at some 50 years old, he's long and hitting bombs because he's lighter, flexible, and more strong. Phil amassed most of his good play on tour without being in the gym. 45 PGA Tour wins, 11 European Tour wins, 6 major championships. Makes you wonder if Phil would have found fitness and his transformation earlier, would he have won more? I guess the only thing we will know is that when Phil Mickelson started to take his fitness seriously, he won a PGA championship. Coming in at 6 foot, weighing 205 pounds, Brooks Koepka. Brooks got into the weight room when he was a freshman at Florida State. His fitness and golf game have never looked back. Brooks, like a lot of fellow professional golfers, works with the same trainer, Joey D. The guy is throwing around some weight. He's doing the bench press. He's squatting. He isn't one of those foo-foo golf fitness golfers. Unlike a lot of golfers that are skinny little tadpoles, Brooks has got some size to him. For the third round of the Honda Classic, Brooks posted a video of him bench pressing 225 15 times. You think Will Zalatoris is doing that? Koepka's diet includes balanced whole meals, said he doesn't snack a lot, and he eats significantly less calories than I would expect a professional athlete who's burning a bunch of calories golfing, training hard in the gym to eat, eats roughly between 2,100 and 2,300 calories. But in 2019, he went on an 1,800 calorie diet, dropping 24 pounds to be fit and lean for the ESPN body issue, which got a lot of critics. Bryson DeChambeau had this to say: "For him to change his body and his body chemistry for vanity reasons is the most reckless self-sabotage that I've ever seen of an athlete in his prime." Brooks had this to say: "I lift too many weights and I'm too big to play golf. And then when I lost weight, I'm too small. I don't know what to say. I'm too big and I'm too small. Listen, I'm gonna do what makes me happy. I don't care what anybody else says. I'm doing it for me, and obviously it seems to work." Later on, he does go to say that that radical of a cut might not have been the best approach, but he wanted to do it and lose the weight. Which at the end of the day, if you're a golfer and you want to lift some weights, you want bench press PRs, you want to be peeled 5% body fat, go for it. You know, is it going to be overall the best for your golf game? That's for you to decide and experiment with. But if it's what you want and you want to pursue that passion, go for it. Brooks wanted to look good on the ESPN body issue, so he did. Obviously, Brooks having 4 majors and 8 PGA Tour wins, the guy knows what he's doing. Coming in at 6'4", weighing 190 pounds, another Joey D disciple, Dustin Johnson. A lot of Joey D's students tend to be on the LIV Golf Tour. You got Brooks Koepka, Dustin Johnson, Taylor Gooch, the list goes on. They just know how to get that bag of cash, I guess. Dustin Johnson is the most flexible freak golfer I've ever seen in my life. Just look at the guy's swing and you'll know why. Dustin Johnson's fitness routine with Joey D includes a mix of strength training, Olympic style lifts, isometric work, rotational exercises, and balance work. As for his nutrition in 2020, Dustin Johnson said he was eating roughly 60% protein in his meals, 20% carbs, and 20% fat, spread out amongst 5 meals. I guess we'll never truly know if Dustin Johnson actually sticks to that diet, but I'm sure he's somewhere in that area. With 24 PGA Tour wins and racking up a boatload of money on LIV, it sure works for him. Coming in at 5'10", weighing 180 pounds, Paul Casey. I really wanted to throw in a non-obvious name. Now, Paul Casey clearly looks fit. There's not a lot on his golf fitness level, but the guy is a big-time cyclist, really works that cardiovascular system, often going up into the Alps and doing long bike rides. Cycling is a mental escape for Paul Casey, which is one of the greatest benefits to fitness, and especially for a professional golfer when all you're doing is golfing and your identity can get wrapped up in your golf scores. Having that escape like cycling or weightlifting is such a great benefit. You get back to the golf course refreshed and ready to go, and your golf game gets better because of the training that you were putting in getting away from golf. Based off some of these pictures, the guy has got to be doing some form of weight training. Big forearms, looks good in a golf shirt, and I know that guy's heart's working. He's had a great career so far, racking up 15 European Tour wins, 3 PGA Tour wins. I know I said I wasn't going to put this in a particular order, but this is the fittest golfer on the LIV Golf Tour, coming in at 6'1" and has a fluctuating weight anywhere between 240 and 190, Bryson DeChambeau. Bryson has had quite the golf fitness journey. The mad scientist that he is, looking for every advantage to get better at golf. He went from really skinny and won a US amateur to really fat, let's be real here, to now he's cut back and he's a nice muscular, lean, strong physique. Bryson went on this transformation from a skinny kid to the longest hitter on the tour and the biggest. He got up to about 240, 250 pounds, and he even said it wasn't the most clean eating. It was pretty detrimental to his health. He's saying this after, of course. In that time, he won a major at Winged Foot, and he was hitting the ball a mile, really pushing the speed training. Bryson's thinking was, well, if I get as big as possible, then I'm going to be hitting the ball as far as I possibly can. Obviously, there's to a certain point where if you were to weigh 350 pounds, well, clearly you're not going to be able to hit the ball any bit farther than somebody, let's say, that weighs 220. And it works the same way as well. If you weigh 110 pounds, you're not going to be able to hit the ball nearly as far as if you weighed 220. but the balanced middle way is the way to go, and that's what Bryson has come to the conclusion of as of 2023. Bryson has a very scientific and also gym bro approach to his training, does a lot of muscle activation techniques, which could mean a lot of things, some fancy workouts, I'll put it into layman's terms, but he also strength trains. He has a 410 max squat. I've seen the guy bench press a lot. He really trains hard and trains like a gym rat golfer. Bryson posted this picture of him flexing, looking muscular, lean, showing off his new and improved physique. And it did raise an interesting question. Is Bryson on steroids? I certainly wouldn't be surprised if Bryson was on something, and I'm not the only one. How's the cycle going? Bryson DeChambeau. Looks like LIV don't require PEDS tests. Must not test for PEDs on LIV Tour. Certainly there is a lot of hard work that goes into a physique that Bryson's built, but something just doesn't seem quite right. It kind of makes sense. LIV Golf Tour, they don't drug test. The PGA Tour does drug test. Why would LIV want to drug test anyways? Clearly, they aren't about the integrity of the game. They want their players to be the best. They want to put on a show. So why would we drug test and limit their capabilities? Reportedly, in 2023, LIV may start drug testing, but compare that to a lot of other LIV golf claims, who knows if any of that's actually going to happen. A very notable golfer that missed out on my list was Ian Poulter. Sorry, Ian, that just isn't the gym rat golfer way. I don't know what you're doing, man. Lift some weights, train hard. If you guys are interested in the sweatshirt I've been rocking in this entire video, go to gymratgolf.com for the golfer that loves the gym. The LIV Tour has an interesting future ahead of it. One thing is for certain, those Saudis sure do know how to pick the fittest golfers. Well, maybe that's because they don't drug test, but that's besides the point. See you in the next one. Peace.